Hello everybody and welcome to Attaché, the show that gets you in, out, and around some of the world's greatest cities. My name is Alex Hunter and I'll be your Sherpa on this international adventure, and today we're in Singapore. Singapore, a captivating blend of influences from all over Asia. This city-state packs an unbelievable amount of creativity, culture, commerce, and chow into just 240 square miles. While ultra-modern and business-focused, Singapore never loses sight of its history and heritage, which to me makes it one of the most fascinating places in Asia. Singapore is served by Changi Airport, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world when it comes to airports. I mean, it's not even a contest. Named best in the world 30 times. It's won 480 awards since 1981. And that's all great, but why is it so good? Let me tell you. Free movie theater? Check. 2 of them actually. Arcade? Check. Free transit hotel? Check. Free tour of Singapore when you're on a layover? Check. Mother flippin' nature trail? Check, check, check. Mic drop, game over, best airport in the world. So you've arrived at Changi Airport. How do you get into town? Let's do cheapest, fastest, best. The bus. Less than 2 Singapore dollars to get you right into the middle of town. Bus terminals are located below terminals 1, 2, and 3. A taxi. Around 20 to 30 Singapore dollars for the 20-minute ride into town. Just follow the signs in the arrivals hall after you go through customs. The MRT. Cheap at just over 2 Singapore dollars, fast, only 30 minutes into the center of town, and so easy. The MRT is the best way to get from the airport into town. The airport MRT station is between terminals 2 and 3, and remember, you'll need to change trains to a city-bound train halfway through your journey. Like most modern cities, Singapore has its own stored value transit system. In this case, the EasyLink. You can use it on the MRT and city buses, and you'll get a 15% discount when compared to a normal paper ticket. The card costs 12 Singapore dollars initially, and that's $5 deposit, which you'll get back if you return the card, and $7 worth of travel credit. You can top up your EasyLink at any of the fare card vending machines in any station, or at a 7-Eleven, but be warned, they'll charge you a little bit of a fee at 7-Eleven. Singapore's subway service is excellent, and is my weapon of choice for when traveling around the city. The Mr. T... MRT, really? Huh, MRT, that makes more sense. Anyway, the MRT covers most residential and business districts in Singapore. Signs and announcements are all in English, and it's really easy to find the right exit for your destination with helpful exit maps like this and very clear signage. One more thing about the MRT, do not eat or drink on it. There is a reason why it's so spotless inside and out, and that's because there's a hefty fine if you do eat or drink on it. So save the cup of corn and the mashed potatoes for later, okay, champ? Believe it or not, there's actually a shortage of taxis in Singapore. It can be incredibly frustrating to try and hail one during rush hour or one of the city's legendary thunderstorms that seem to sweep through like clockwork every afternoon. But if you are able to find one, they are clean, reliable, and relatively cheap-ish. There are a lot of hidden fees that pop up. Trips to the airport, late night fees, phone booking fees, toll road fees, surcharge fees. So don't be surprised if suddenly your fare jumps. While all taxis are equipped and required to accept credit card payments, not all of them will be inclined to do so every single time, so make sure that you ask before you get in. You can use local taxi app Grab Taxi, or you can use Uber, which also has a solid presence here. And while most taxi drivers will understand English, it's not a bad idea to get a name card of where you're going, just to avoid any confusion. And the hotels will be happy to provide this for you. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, we should just rename the show, Watch Alex Eat Things in Random Places. But as I said in one of our earliest episodes, food is such an important part of a city's culture that I think we owe it to everybody to spend a lot of time talking about the food and drink in each city that we visit. It would be rude not to. Also, I love eating. Singaporean food culture is legendary, with a blend of influences from all over Asia Indian, Malaysian, Middle Eastern, and Chinese dishes feel right at home next to local creations. And this communal kitchen has created some dishes and dining experiences that are totally unique to Singapore. And nothing sums up that uniqueness quite like Singapore's hawker centers. They're dotted around the city and they're like a permanent food festival, which might be the greatest idea that I've ever heard. The food is cheap, the quality is unbelievably high, and the hygiene is strictly monitored by the government. So you ain't gonna get sick here, unless you have a weak constitution, like Greg, who got food poisoning at his own barbecue.
Shut up.
Adorable. Hawker centers are also the best place to get real, down-home versions of classic Singaporean dishes like chicken rice, arguably Singapore's national dish. It's chicken flavored with soy sauce and sesame oil and then served on a bed of fragrant rice that's been cooked in chicken broth and then flavored with ginger and garlic. And you also get this delightfully spicy sauce to go with it. So how do you figure out which of the many stalls at a hawker center to eat at? My advice, find the one with the longest line and join it. There is no better endorsement than popularity. And once you've found that vendor that you want to eat at, here's how you order. Find a table and leave one of your crew there so you can claim it as your own. Now note that every table has a number, so write yours down or remember it in that big noggin of yours before you go up to your first stall. Order whatever yummy goodness takes your fancy, have a seat and your food will be brought to you. But that said, during busier times, you'll see a lot of the stalls have self-service signs up. That means you just need to hang out and grab your food whenever it's ready. So when you've eaten just about as much as you can, and you'll know that by a wicked case of the meat sweats, one of two things will happen. If there are signs that say, please return your tray, be cool and take it to one of the tray return stations. If not, it's okay to leave the tray on the table when you leave. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm in an airport, but I am very excited to share this with you. Can you tell it's 4 o'clock in the morning? Do I look sprightly and fresh? I don't feel sprightly and fresh. Anyway, for breakfast, ditch the bacon and eggs when you're in Singapore and try the nasi lemak. This is their absolute best breakfast offering. And not only is it beautiful, look at that, it's a banana leaf, but it's also delicious. It's basically rice cooked in coconut milk. It's a little bit like huevos rancheros in that everybody has their own interpretation of how you make it, but generally it's rice which is cooked in coconut milk, ikan bilis which is just anchovies. Don't let that put you off, trust me, it's amazing. Cucumber and quite a lot of spice, so it's got a kick, so it's a spicy way to start your Singapore day, but it is absolutely delicious. And even though it's 4 o'clock in the morning, I am still absolutely excited to eat this. The red stuff, potent, so take it easy. Fish with the eyes. Oh. That's good. Even though I don't want to eat anything, I do want to eat this. For some on-the-ground knowledge, we asked our good friends over on the Singapore subreddit of reddit.com for some recommendations of things we should eat while we're here. And holy cow, what a response I got. I've never seen anything like it. So thank you guys, not just for the quantity, but the quality. I mean, there were some essays that wouldn't have been out of place in magazines like Saveur or Lucky Peach or any of the other alarming amounts of food pornography that I read. But despite Singapore's rich and diverse food culture, you want to know what the #1 recommendation was? I mean, it wasn't even a contest. There wasn't a single dissenting comment. This, the McSpicy. Now, I've been told this thing packs quite a punch. In fact, one Redditor suggested that I should, quote, prepare my butthole. Well, it is prepared. Let's do it. It looks just like a chicken sandwich, but I am heeding the warning. Oh, that went up my nose, Greg.
Spicy?
Oh, yeah. It's delicious. I want more. Holy shit. I liked it. I mean, I need to go to the hospital, but it's a good burn. Singapore is one of the safest cities in the world, no matter how you measure it. You won't have any issues walking alone at night. Violent crime is almost unheard of, and the city is absolutely spotless. But there's a reason for that, and it's worth talking about. Singapore has some strict laws that you should read up about before you come here. It's technically illegal to spit, litter, jaywalk, eat or drink on public transport, and even sell chewing gum unless it's for medical reasons. Now, it doesn't matter what you think about these laws because they are the law. So be cool, otherwise you could get slapped with a hefty fine. Let's talk Turkey. Singapore uses the Singapore dollar, often abbreviated as SGD when you see it next to a price. There are 100 cents in a dollar, and coins range from 5 cents up to $1, where notes take over at a $2 bill. So here's a neat little tidbit for you. The Singapore dollar is pegged to the Brunei dollar, and both currencies can be used interchangeably in both countries. So don't be surprised if you see a Brunei note in your change from time to time. Singapore may seem expensive when compared to the rest of Asia, but on a global scale, it's actually pretty affordable. Let's do the rundown. A cup of coffee will cost you around $5. A pint of beer will cost you around $6. And for the most reliable indicator of a nation's cost, the good old Big Mac, you're going to pay about $5.25. And speaking of coffee, don't forget to try the local version, which is strong, sugary, and costs less than $1 at a hawker center or at a coffee stand. Tipping. Singapore is a great city. Want to know why? No tipping. It's actually frowned on by the government. So you don't have to do it. You don't even have to think about it. What a great city. Shopping is considered sport in Singapore. So if that's your thing, then you are in the right place. Luxury brands, electronics, clothes, you name it. Singapore has it in spades. And despite nearly everything being imported, prices are still pretty competitive thanks to low taxes and low import tariffs. So that's the Attaché Guide to Singapore. If you've been here before and feel like we've missed something, or you live here and feel like there's that one thing that everybody who comes here needs to know, then leave it in the comments below. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe because we have more amazing cities coming for you real soon. But until next time, good health. Oh God, I needed that.